Hey guys, remember a few weeks ago I posted a video called A Nice Haul where I showed some books and some tubes and whatnot that I had picked up at an old TV and radio repair shop that was being torn down? Well, it just so happens I was out running some errands today and I found myself in that neighborhood and I thought I'd stop by. Well, it turns out that really nothing has changed, and I was able to get in there and I found some more stuff. I was not prepared. I didn't have a flashlight or my good camera or anything like that, but I did have my cell phone, so I took these few photos to give me some idea what this place looks like. So as you can see, it's in pretty miserable condition. The upper floor and the front of the shop isn't quite so bad, but that basement area, the back of the building, it's well over 100 years old brick, and it's all falling apart and it's been vandalized and so on. Another shame is that in the backyard there is a shipping container, like from an 18-wheeler, and it had been filled with dozens of boxes of stuff that looks to be in pretty good shape, but they were all thrown into the backyard and are buried in snow and they've been torn through and whatnot. And there seem to be some bums living in that tractor trailer now. They weren't there when I was there, but there are some chairs set up inside and there's been a bonfire going and whatnot, so it's a little dicey to go over there anymore. But I did spend a while there, and I picked up some more stuff, so let's see what I got. First off, in the snow in the backyard, you can see there's still snow on here because I just brought this stuff in. I found some old records, 33s and 78s. Nothing special, but I figured the 78s anyways, when I restore some of my old phonographs, like the GE802, I can test them out with some of these. Also got this album that can hold these. I think maybe for 10-inch records, a little mildewy, whatnot, so maybe I'll just toss it, I don't know, but I just sought it out as I was leaving and thought I'd grab this stuff. This other stuff gets a bit more interesting. First off, I was very happy to find some of this stuff, which is the old cable you use for wiring like a rooftop antenna, this twin lead stuff. It's kind of hard to find now, and this 300 ohm cable. But it's great stuff for making dipole antennas, like for ham radios, and I can use it to repair my rabbit ears, my old UHF, VHF antennas, because almost all of them are either missing the twin lead and the little spade terminals, or it's in really horrible condition. So, got 150 feet of this stuff. And I found a lot more tubes. This is probably the coolest one. Unfortunately, one of the filament leads is gone. This is an EMAC or iMac 75TL. I believe it's an early transmitter tube. So it's kind of cool. There's a lead coming out the side, one on top, at this nice big globe, and then the filament leads went into the base there. These boxes are filled with gazillions of resistors. Pop one of them open and show you what I mean. Here's some of them. I believe these are 220 ohm 1 watt resistors. Now you may have heard that carbon composition resistors drift upwards in value with age. Well, these are molded wire wound, so these are probably still good. I'll have to get an ohmmeter and see, but I got quite a few of these, so I hope I can use some of them. Got quite a few boxes in here. Some more tubes. There's a 1625. That's a ham radio transmitter tube, I believe. 19BG6. These are using the GE locomotive type sets for the horizontal outputs. It's an early tube. It's got the early type base, maybe a 75 or 78. This I picked up just for the novelty aspect. It's a resistor, but it's one huge ass resistor. It says 10,000, so maybe it's a 10K resistor, but I don't know, maybe 100 watts, something like that. They got a lot more of these ham type resistors there, but I just grabbed a few. Let's see, tubes. 15 FM7. Probably have no use for those, but what the heck, they were there. Bunch more molded resistors, a few more old tube types. Old type tubes, I should say. 6A7. Oh, these are handy to have. These are used for the combination oscillator mixer tubes in a lot of early radios, including that Philco 60, I do believe. Now this box says legs on it. Well, if you've seen my video on an RCA 222, beautiful Art Deco radio, but the legs on mine have been cut off. I was kind of surprised to see this box, which is a set of 4 wooden legs. Now, they're not quite the same style as that radio, but they're the right size and they're the right length. So I may just temporarily pop these legs on to give that radio something to stand on, so to speak. Now in this box, I've got crystals, old school crystals, like from World War II. Back then they made them from a couple pieces of Bakelite held together with screws, and inside of this is a piece of quartz that was shaved down to a specific frequency, in this case 8.14 megahertz. I think all of these might be 8.14 megahertz from just glancing at the labels on top. I'm not sure if that's a useful frequency or not. I'm not that familiar with ham radio stuff, but at any rate, got a whole bunch of them. And finally, we've got tubes. Tubes, and more tubes. Also got these. These were out by that trailer in the backyard. There was a box of these. They're kind of cool for prototyping. It's an octal base with 4 screw terminals, so you can set up your tubes in these and then kind of build up a radio by like breadboarding it together, you know, and connect your various leads and whatnot between the tubes. As far as the tubes go, I haven't had a whole lot of chance to look at them, so I'm not sure if I got anything good or not. This guy's kind of interesting. Oh, it's a 307. Huh. It's got an old style base, but it's a pretty big tube. I think this is probably a transmitter tube. I thought it was an 807 at first, but it says 307. I tried to grab the older style looking tubes like these, because there are a lot of TV tubes like this Compactron. I really don't have any use for these. I've already got a whole mess of them. So we'll see. A lot of the tubes that were left there, as you can probably see from the photos, are on the ground. And what happened is the old cardboard boxes got wet. They just kind of fused together into this mass. So it really is like being an archaeologist, still digging through these layers and layers, having to go through all this cardboard to find the tubes hidden inside. Found a few metal tubes there too. I'm not sure what that is. BK49-B. I just about finished going through the other tubes and cleaning them up and sorting through them. Now I got another whole batch to go through. Oh, there are also a whole lot of can capacitors there. There was a box probably of 100 or more of these. I just grabbed a few. Probably not good anymore. These are from 1970, if that's the date code there, 7035. But, yes, you may have seen in some of my other videos, I like to restuff can capacitors. Well, sometimes I get old radios and TVs where the old caps have been cut out, there's just a hole there, and the new ones were wired below. Well, I can replace those with these, you know, restuff these and put these in the old sets. Also found a bunch of feet, like hard Bakelite feet for screwing on the bottoms of radios and TVs. There's a box of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. Also found a box filled with hundreds and hundreds of knobs, but I looked through them all and I only found 2 that were useful. and they were old RCA knobs, kind of like would be on this RCA 630TS. Unfortunately, not the hard to find channel knob, just a more common knob like that. So that's about it. There's a lens. I might go back there one more time and come a little more prepared with a flashlight. But, yeah, thought you guys might find this interesting. Oh, here's one of those RCA knobs. Another one must be kicking around in here somewhere.